Hey guys, I'm back doing another get ready with me or kind of tutorial. I don't feel comfortable calling these things tutorials because one, I don't feel like I'm that skilled, and two, most of the time when I go into these things, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my face. But I already have the foundation and concealer done. I figured for today we would just cut that out. But I still do have to bake, and then I'm going to do the rest of my eyes and face with you guys. So for baking, I'm obviously going to be using my CoverGirl Loose Professional Powder. Now I'm going to do my eyebrows and be right back. I'm going to be using my Anastasia Dip Brow for today, and I do already have an eyebrow tutorial using this up, so I will link it in the description or I'll put it in the cards if I remember. If I don't remember to do any of those things, please comment down below. Now I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Sugar eyeshadow to kind of set the foundation and concealer and stuff that we have going on our eyelids. I'm gonna go for quite the warm look today, as I always do. So I'm going to be taking, what is this, Burnt Orange from Anastasia. I use this shadow on an almost daily basis, and I always end up calling it orange soda. I have no idea why. I know Anastasia has a shadow named orange soda, but I don't own it, so I don't know. Now I'm going to be digging into my beautiful Pastel Goth palette from the Kat Von D, and I'm going to be using the shade Clementine in my crease right there. Now we're going into a shadow that I have not used in a while. I'm going to be using the shade Chocolate Cookie right here from my Too Faced Natural Matte palette. Now, the trick to all shimmery eyeshadows, Too Faced Glitter Glue. I use this almost any time I wear shimmery shadows, which is pretty much every day that I wear makeup. Now I'm going to be jumping into my Juvia's Place, the Nubian palette. Wow, can I even speak? I'm going to be taking this beautiful coppery shade right here, and I'm going to plop that right on my lids. And when you use super shimmery shades like this with the glitter glue, pat it on instead of swiping it on for two reasons. Patting on the shadow as opposed to swiping it on will prevent fallout, even though I bake under my eyes to strip away any fallout anyway, and also because it'll stick to the primer or the glitter glue better if you pat it as opposed to swiping it. Now to blend that out a little bit, I'm going to be going back into the brush that I used in my crease. I always forget to name the brushes, I'm sorry, but just know that most of my brushes are from Real Techniques or e.l.f. somewhere really affordable. And this is the Deluxe Crease Brush, and I'm going to just go in and blend the harsh lines. Now for my outer V, I'm going back into my Too Faced Natural Matte palette, and I'm going to be using the shade Sexpresso here. Now just to deepen that up a little bit more, I'm going to be using my Empress eyeshadow from Juvia's Place. Now I'm going to go in with my new e.l.f. eye crease brush to just blend everything in a little bit more. You can never be too blended. Okay, so I feel like I went a little bit too dark, so what I did was I put a little bit of Heaven from the Too Faced Natural Matte, and I kind of blended that into like this part of my eye, like the inner part of my eye, because I felt like I went a little too dark. That's a little trick for you guys. If you ever feel like your eyeshadow went a little bit too dark, you don't have to wipe it off and start all over again. You can just take like a matte white or a matte cream shadow or any kind of matte shadow that I guess is a little bit closer to your skin tone and kind of blend it into the color so that it can lighten up a little bit and not look as harsh. I learned that from Samantha Ravindal on YouTube. I love her. Now I'm wiping off the bake, and I am going to be kind of sharpening up the this part. I don't know what to call things sometimes. I'm going to be sharpening up like the outer portion of this eye look just to make it look like it has like a little bit of a sharp edge to it. And I'm going to be doing that with my concealer. It's super easy. A lot of people use tape, but please don't use tape. There's a lot of pulling and tugging, and nobody wants premature wrinkles. So, I mean, do what you want, but using tape on my skin is just not for me. So I like to clean it up with concealer, which is what I'm going to be doing now. And the lighting sucks because the sun keeps going away and coming back in. So I just kind of take the concealer and I do a little concealer wing like that on both eyes. It's not always going to be even, so sometimes I have to go in, you know, okay, that's definitely not even. Sometimes I have to go in 1 or 2 more times to just kind of make them look a little more even, but yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more here. And I blend that out with my, I was going to say beauty blender, with my Real Technique sponge. Oh, the sun decided to come back. Alright, so it actually came out kind of even, so I'm going to be setting that with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. Sometimes with all the blending on your eyes, your lid shade can lose its intensity, so I am going to be going back into my Nubian palette to touch up that coppery shade on my lid. Now for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick. I have mine in the shade Golden Pink. It came in the Sephora Play Box. And I just kind of dab that in my inner corners. And I don't actually like this by itself, so I do go over a shadow with it always. And that shadow is going to be this like peachy pinkish gold shade. I'm horrible at describing colors. I'm going to be using this shade to set that cream shadow basically. Now I'm going to be using my Maybelline gel eyeliner for some tight lining. So I ended up putting the black eyeliner on my tight line and waterline because my eyes are 2 different shapes. So I feel like putting black eyeliner on my waterline actually helps them even out a little bit. You can still kind of tell, but it's not as noticeable. I do want to add a little pop of color to this, so I am going to be using the shade Gloom, this green right here, from the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. Alright, so the eye makeup is done. I did my mascara. I put on the CoverGirl Supersizer. Not my favorite. I feel like I really have to build that up to get some volume, but it's good. I'll use it up. But anyway, I'm going to be bronzing now with my Wet n Wild Caramel Toffee Bronzer. Okay, my hair is a mess. Okay, for blush, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Pink Leopard blush. I haven't used this in a minute because lately I have been more into my really bright pink blushes. And this is a more subtle glowy blush, so this has been kind of set to the side. So we're going to be using it today. Now I'm going to be contouring with my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour. You already know the drill. I was going to use this Becca liquid highlighter just to add a base for my highlighter, but this blush is kind of glowy enough on its own, so I think I'm just going to go in with highlighter. And I'm going to be using my Anastasia Glow Kit, and I think I'm going to be mixing Bubbly right here and Dripping Gold. Can you tell how much I love Bubbly? Now for my lips, I'm going to be using the Ofra Miami Fever liquid lipstick. I have had mine for so long that there's like no writing on it. And it's the old style Ofra packaging too. Now that the lip is done, I'm going to be setting my whole makeup look with the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. So this is how the look turned out. I am very, very happy with it. I forgot how much I love these Ofra liquid lipsticks and this shade Miami Fever in general. I love warm orangey looks like this, and I love the pop of green on the bottom. I love everything about this look. I'm sorry if you guys can like hear the wind, by the way. I'm on my balcony. It's a really beautiful day in New York City today, but it's kind of windy. But I wanted to get the best lighting I could get. So I will see you guys next time.